going on, guys? Tennessee Frank here. Well, President Trump addressed the nation with his thoughts and ideas on what we need to do to stop all these mass shootings. I didn't hear what I consider to be the obvious solutions, which I'll get to in a minute. He did mention mental health. Yeah, that's a good place to start, but how are you going to do that? I mean, if you turn over medical records, it's a HIPAA violation. You're not allowed to give out people's personal medical records. So how are they going to get around that? Secondly, a lot of these people have no prior mental health issues. I mean, they're perfectly law-abiding citizens. They buy their guns. They go through their background check. Everything goes through fine. You know, any kind of tick or ding on their mental health on a background check wouldn't have showed up. So honestly, I don't see how that's going to solve the problem. Second thing, he did kind of hint at more gun control. He mentioned the bump stock ban. Oh, how we did something with the bump stock ban. So there may be more legislation coming down the pipes, folks. I hate to say it. I like Trump on certain policies. His Second Amendment policy absolutely sucks. The man is not pro-gun, not by any stretch of the imagination. He's from New York. You know how people in New York are about guns. They barely own guns. I mean, it's scary to them. Anything you don't know is scary. I keep hearing all these idiots on the local news and other news outlets talk about all these weapons of mass destruction and military-grade arms and how citizens shouldn't have all this stuff. And the Second Amendment wasn't meant for us to have all these mass destructive killing machines. And just, they obviously have, one, no fucking idea, and excuse my French, but this just gets me so angry. They have no idea, okay, what the Second Amendment's about. They don't have a clue. If they'd read Federalist Papers and other Founding Father documents, they would see the Second Amendment absolutely 100% protects military-grade, high-capacity, high-firepower killing machines. That's what we're supposed to have to keep our government in check. They don't get that. Number two, 99% of the ARs and AKs that civilians own are not military grade. Hate to inform them of that, but they are far and away from the quality of the military weapons. Military weapons, when they are made, generally are held to a fairly high standard. The heat treatment has to be perfect. All the parts have to be high quality. Soldiers go into combat with these weapons and they bet their lives that these weapons are going to work and perform. And they're not going to take some off-the-shelf civilian AR into combat, because those guns generally are not designed to be fired thousands upon thousands upon thousands of rounds in harsh conditions. Yeah, they're good, they're reliable guns. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that civilian grade ARs or AKs are junk. No, I'm not saying that. They're good guns. They're not up to the requirements of military, though. The majority of them are not. Now, you can buy parts and build one, put it together, get high quality parts, and make a military grade gun. It's still going to be lacking one serious component, one serious feature of a military grade AR, and that is fully automatic fire. None of the civilian guns since 1986 can legally be built to be fully auto. And that's something that the military has, is fully automatic capability. So I don't understand why they keep trying to demonize these weapons. Like I've said before, like I'll continue to say, if I have 3 or 4 people break into my house doing a home invasion bent on doing me harm, then I want something with a high-capacity magazine. I want something that is designed to kill people, because my life is being threatened by people, and I need to put them down and take them out as quickly as possible. to preserve my life and the life of my wife and my loved ones. So for them to say, oh, we don't need these kind of guns. Yeah, sorry, hate to say it, but yeah, we do. These are exactly the kind of guns our founding fathers wanted us to have. That's how we secure a free state, by being equally well armed as our military. Which, that's another thing. Founding fathers were never real keen on having a standing military. That was never their intent. They always wanted civilian population to be armed and to come together for training, to be regulated, which is what that word means. It means to be trained and properly disciplined and regulated in the use of arms, so that we could provide for the common defense. That's for our society in general, and to secure a free state, so that the government could never impose laws on a state that the state did not want to accept. Things are just all backwards. It seems like since 1865, things have gotten totally backwards. The federal government imposes laws on states that the states don't like, they don't want, and even when the states vote in something they do want, the feds still try and push their will on the states, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. State rights are supposed to trump federal rights. That's the way it's designed. That way, if you don't like laws in your state, move to another state. It makes it simple. There's no federally sweeping law or legislation that's going to lock you into something you don't like. But back on track, all these mass shootings that have been taking place. One thing that the sheeple, and I think those of you that are gun owners know what I talk about when I say sheeple. That's people who have given up their responsibility for defending their own lives, who have turned everything over to government. You know, government, police, you take care of us, and we'll stand back helpless. Those are the sheeple. The sheeple have been terrified so much by these 3 mass shootings over the last week or so that they are now ready to give up essential liberties for safety. And we know that never works out very well. We know from all these gun-free zones we see, when you give up your right to defend yourself and go into a gun-free zone and give up your firearms, that's where about 92% of these mass shootings take place, because the killer knows he can waltz in there and have little to no opposition. He will be able to do his nefarious deeds unopposed. So personally, if you want to stop this, okay, any politicians that happen across my video, or if anyone out there can get this video in the hands of politicians out there who want to listen to some common sense, here's how we stop this. Number 1, we ban gun-free zones. You stop businesses from being able to put up gun-free zone signs. I don't care if it's a Walmart or if it's a restaurant or a bar or whatever. There should be no more gun-free zones. There should be no place a law-abiding citizen, especially one who has gone to the trouble of getting a concealed carry permit, who has been vetted by not only the state but by the FBI, because you have to do that to get your carry permit. There should be no place that we are not allowed to carry. There may be 1 or 2 exceptions. Courtrooms, I'm going to say courtrooms. Emotions run high in a courtroom. I know if someone killed one of my family members or something, and I'm in a courtroom, and it looks like they're going to get off with, you know, the slap on the wrist or something. Yeah, if I had a gun on me, I might not like what's happening, and I may take matters into my own hands. Which brings up a whole nother kettle of fish about now I'm in trouble. But still, courtrooms may be an exception. But all these other places, as far as like DMV, what difference does it make if I carry my gun when I go get my driver's license? I don't see a problem with that. Post offices, if I got to run in and check a P.O. box or mail a package, what difference does it make if I got my legally concealed carry gun on me? What harm is it going to pose? I don't understand some of these places that they've designated as gun-free zones. They make no sense. Restaurants that serve alcohol, here in Arizona, unless they actually have a sign on the door saying no guns allowed, no firearms allowed, and it's got to be a legal sign. It's got to be that 8x8 with the ARS revised statute, I believe it's 4-26 or whatever, or 226. Unless they have that on the door, you are legally able to carry into a restaurant that serves alcohol as long as you do not consume alcohol while you're on the premises. And I think that's as it should be. I should not have to leave my gun in the car if I'm going out to dinner with my family to a restaurant that happens to serve beer or alcohol. I mean, it makes no sense. I'm glad Arizona has that rule. But I'd like to see them do away with this gun-free zone deal, where if they post no guns, now I can't carry. Why? Where's the threat? Why am I a threat now all of a sudden if they put a sign in the door versus no sign? I don't understand that. As far as you know, places that are off limits, local movie theater, they have a little 3x3 sign. It's on the far right on a window at the lower right corner. It's not a legal sign. It's not posted so that it's prominently displayed. I don't consider that sign to be legal. I don't follow that. When I go to the theater, I carry. Because remember Aurora, Colorado, okay? All those helpless unarmed victims. Dude came in through the exit door and started shooting people. If that happens while I'm in there, he's getting return fire. It's as simple as that. I don't care if it is a weapons-free zone. My life is now in danger. I'm going to return fire. And by Arizona law, even if it was a legal 8x8 sign prominently displayed, the only thing that could happen to me if it was found out that I had a firearm on me was the management could ask me to leave. That's the full extent of the law. If I refuse to leave, now I'm trespassing. So, okay, I get written up for trespassing if I decide I don't want to leave. But I would leave. I'm not going to be an idiot and stand there and fight them. I'll say, fine, I'm gone. You don't want me to protect your business while I'm here as a legal concealed carry holder. Fine, I'll go. I'm not going to stand and argue with them, but I will let them know I'll never be back and that they've lost my business. But yeah, one, they need to get rid of gun-free zones. Two, I really think we need national constitutional carry. We need to push that through somehow, some way. These states should not be allowed to just take a big crap all over the Second Amendment. And that's what they're doing with a lot of their laws. California, the city of Chicago, Washington, D.C., New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts. My wife says I pronounce that wrong. I'm sorry, that's the only way I know how to say it. Massachusetts, that's how I say it. Sue me. But there should be no state that should be able to trump the Constitution. The Constitution and Bill of Rights is the law of the land. And if a state passes a law that's contrary to the Constitution or Bill of Rights, it should not stand. And we should have national concealed carry as long as you're a law-abiding citizen, as long as you pass your background check. You should be able to carry your firearm to defend yourself and your family. I don't see anything wrong with that. You're a good guy until you do something wrong with that gun, then you're a criminal, then you get prosecuted under the law. It's very simple. Don't prosecute me and say that I'm not a good person when I've done nothing wrong. You know, when I'm carrying my firearm, minding my own business, and attending to my own affairs, don't try to make me into a criminal with your gun-free zones and your, you know, all your anti-concealed carry laws. It's not right. It's not the way our country should run. And like I said, people keep pushing this narrative of these high-capacity killing machines. Number one, if they would allow people to carry, I don't care if the guy walked in there with a bazooka. The minute he raised it up and started to fire it, if 3 or 4 people were there to zap that dude and put him down, he would not be able to continue his evil deeds. So, as far as, you know, them being afraid of a dude with a gun, let's get some other dudes in there that are law-abiding citizens with guns to counteract that. I get so tired of this knee-jerk reaction. every time there's a shooting, right away they want to ban this and outlaw that, and oh, you shouldn't be able to carry here, or you shouldn't be able to do this or that. And it never works. It absolutely never works. Let's try going the other way. Lighten up on things and let people carry. Let people defend themselves. Get rid of these gun-free zones so we are able to fight back. Let's train our kids. It's okay to fight back. Instead of all this stuff in school where, oh, if a bully hits you, you can't hit him back. Bull crap. A bully hits you, you knock him on his ass. It's very simple. You fight back. You don't be a sheep. So I know it's kind of a rant, but I get so tired of every time there's a mass shooting or something like this takes place, all these idiots come out of the woodwork and try to steal our constitutional rights and try to erode a little bit more and infringe on our Second Amendment rights. If President Trump gets a hold of this message and hears it, do the right thing. Executive order banning gun-free zones. Executive order making constitutional carry legal in all 50 states. Let's start nipping this in the bud. Let's move the other direction and see if we can get a handle on all these mass shootings instead of trying to tighten up regulations that only make law-abiding citizens more of a helpless victim. Like I always say, either we stand up for our rights or we can sit by and watch them go away. Guys, have an awesome week. We will talk to you later. Hopefully I'll be bringing you some more positive content here, something a little more upbeat. But yeah, just wanted to get this out here. So, rant off. TN.Frank's out of here.